What up, my peeps? Welcome back to another podcast. I'm your host, ROISS, and my co-host, Water. Water is everywhere. It's good for you because since it's summertime and it's gonna get hot out there. We're gonna have parched throat. Yeah, because you're gonna get all parched and thirsty out in the heat. And lately, where we are, for the past 2 weeks, it's been rainy, it's been cloudy, chilly. I even had to wear a sweater, which should not be happening in the summertime. But it looks like it, that sun is coming out. So hopefully this week and so forth on, we will have a good weather. But how can we have an enjoyable weather and a warm heat and all those things that the earth can offer if everything is so damn expensive? Inflation's all the way up. What is wrong with this economy right now? That's right. That is my topic for today. Because I'm hearing a lot of complaints. Even myself, I complain about it too. This inflation, the price is going high, gas is high, food is high. I didn't touch up on a whole lot on my last podcast when I talked about it. It was just a brief topic, but this one, well, we're gonna dive deep into it, just like the ocean, deep, right? We're gonna dive deep into this because even I wonder too, what's the cause of this inflation? What's the cause of shelves in grocery stores becoming empty? And prices are all jacked up, right? And it's inflation, which is a terrible thing. Why is the question? Why do we have to have inflation? It's because of the goods that's not being produced a whole lot. But even then, when we have a good sufficient goods, like, why won't they just keep the prices, the inflation, and all of those things just stable? Why does it have to be increased? Every single year it's increasing. I love me some Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I always get those coupons that we get in the mail every 2 to 3 weeks or every single month, right? But over the past years, I noticed the coupons that I'm getting, the prices are increasing. I remember a 9-piece chicken bucket with gravy and some other extras like coleslaws and a drink and whatnot. That combo, the 9-piece chicken fries and gravy, used to be $17.99. That's with a coupon. Now, it went up to $21.99. I'm like, damn. The years has gone by really quickly, huh? Damn. Why is it so expensive? The chicken running out? The chicken ain't laying eggs like as they're supposed to? Well, what's going on? What is going on with this crazy economy? And I never took economics in school, so don't take my word for it, because I really don't know. So we're gonna be learning today. We're gonna learn today what inflation is all about, because I don't even know. I don't even understand why we even have inflation. I don't even understand what is inflation all about. But thank goodness, handy dandy phones nowadays, with good technology, we can look it up. And that's what I noticed. I find myself doing lately is that, I've been looking up stuff on the phone because it's awesome. It's amazing compared, if I need to look up something, like the phone is just right there. It's just on hand. Nobody ever goes to their computers anymore, not unless you're in the office, but even at home, you know, you you'll be looking up stuff on your phone instead of the computer, right? So here, because I would like to understand what inflation is. I never took in economics, so I don't know what it is. So here, inflation is a measure of the rate of rising prices of goods and services in a economy. If inflation is occurring, leading to higher prices for basic necessities such as food, it can have a negative impact on society. Well, of course it has negative impact on society. Look what's happening, right? Um, so inflation can occur when prices rise due to increases in production costs, such as raw materials and wages. Does it have to? That's the question. Does it have to, like, increase, right? If everything is stable, but nothing is stable nowadays. That's why everything is increasing. But the one thing that does not increase, and I hear this a lot too from everybody, is that the pay that they get at work does not increase. Now, I'm hearing, you know, rumors of all rumors that the government is going to increase the wages of every company, to increase the wages of the employees. But the thing is, if you increase also the wages of the employees of every businesses, that means the tax gets increased. So the people who was in a certain tax bracket is now increased to even a higher tax bracket. So what does that mean? It means nothing really has changed. It's just that you just increase a certain amount of percentage, meaning that more taxes will be coming out. More pay cuts will be coming out from everybody's paycheck. See, these are the things that we need to understand. This is the thing that I'm trying to understand, and why these things are happening when it really doesn't need to happen, right? So with that being said, what else can we learn? Because I want to learn. I want to understand. Man, I wish I took economics and understood these things. So as I'm looking here, inflation can be a concern because it makes money saved today less valuable tomorrow. Inflation erodes a consumer's purchasing power and can even interfere with the ability to retire. For example, if an investor earns 5% from the investments in stocks and bonds, but the inflation rates was 3%, the investors only earned 2% in real term. Wow, that sucks. You know, you trying to invest, but you can't really, because you end up losing. Something is not valuable nowadays, but everything has its price, right? So if inflation and prices increase, but there is no job opportunity because, certain things has to give in order for certain things to be increased, what's going to happen in the future? Well, this is what's going to happen. If everything continues to keep going up and up and up, we will fall into a recession, which happened in 2008. And I remember that, where a lot of people had lost their jobs. It's the same thing with what happened during the pandemic. A lot of people lost their job because the businesses had to close so that everybody can be saved or safe. I think everybody has to be safe so that nobody gets infected here and there, but at the same time, it affected a lot of people. I know we had benefits. Some places didn't have benefits, which we are lucky because we got to still have the compensation to pay for things. But to be honest with you, it's not enough. It's not enough. And the one thing that I wanted to know too is who benefits from these inflation. And that's what I was trying to look up, because like if there's inflation everywhere, then who benefits from it? So let's read here some more. While consumers experienced little benefit from inflation. Wow. So consumers like myself and everybody around us with a blue-collar jobs experienced little benefits. So investors can enjoy a boost if they hold assets in markets affected by inflation. For example, those who are invested in energy companies might see a rise in their stock prices if energy prices are rising. So consumers benefits little from the inflation, while investors and everybody above them benefits. They get to enjoy a boost of this benefits, right? Wow. It's like saying, the weak reaps nothing, while the strong reaps all the good benefits and all that good things that comes with it. And that's the problem, because the ones who actually suffers are the consumers. Now imagine this: if there are no consumers buying all these products and producing all these goods and services, what will happen to the investors? What will happen to the stock markets? What will happen to the rich people? They will eventually become useless, broke, poor, without all of these things, because the people, like the consumers with the blue collar jobs, are the ones who produces all these things, and yet they're the one who suffers, not the management, the investors, the big people. And they rarely do any of the hard lifting. That the lower blue collar jobs are the ones that does all of the heavy lifting. But the one question that also stands out too, which is kind of hard to get to, because even I researched this, and the question is who decides inflation? I mean, it gives me different kinds of explanation of inflation, because our economy is just messed up right now. It's screwed. But it does not tell you who decides inflation. It just says the market, the companies, increases prices, increases the goods and service. But those are just companies. But who is the question? Who decides for inflation? Is it the government, or is it the people that's higher than the government? Is it the president? Is it our prime minister, the leaders? Who decides inflation? Because it affects a lot of people. So it affects us because everything is rising, rent is rising, mortgages are rising, just for no reason, right? Just because of certain goods and services, and we're running out of stocks on our shelves. I went to go to look for children's Tylenol for my son because he had the flu, and they were all out of stock, and that just makes us concerned because why is everything so high if a lot of the goods that are being produced out of stock, right? These are the things that everybody needs to start learning, to start understanding. Don't leave me hanging. I'm not the only one who has all these concerns. I know everybody has concerns. Everybody that I talk to, that I hang out with, they vent to me what's going on. They're complaining that the gas bill's so high. They're complaining the water bill's so high. Rent is so high. We're all in the same boat. But why is the other people in the other boat enjoying the boosted inflation when we experience little benefits from this, right? So yeah, it's hard, and then we end up working overtime just to pay off certain things. I went grocery, and I remember you can get a lot of food, probably I would say about 5 or 6 bags, or even 7 bags for like less than $150. That's how cheap it used to be back then. But now groceries is like, it reaches $200 or even more, $250. Even 99-cent stores. Why would the 99-cent store or Dollarama store or any stores with 99 cents have inflation? But anyways, even before the inflation, even the 99-cent store, even the Dollarama stores, and all those cheap stores where you can get everything for 99 cents weren't even 99 cents. A lot of them were like $1.50, $2.50. If you get the better stuff, some of them can run you up to $5. And I'm just like, what's going on? I thought this was a 99-cent store. Even the bargain stores. Even the bargain stores will bargain for inflation to go down. But even with the bargain store, it's pretty expensive. And that's why I see a lot of people go to thrift stores to buy clothes. Hey, I'm one of them people who goes to the thrift stores, to go to Value Village, to go to to buy all those secondhand clothings, because if you get the clothings from the actual mall, they are expensive. Where a t-shirt like this one, used to be around, I would say, $5 to $7, a large for male or even a female. for that matter, is now up to around $11 to $12. And that's sad because, we keep producing the same products over and over again. Why would you increase that if the product is still the same that's being produced? They say that an apple 100 years ago used to be I would say what, 5 to 10 cents, compared to 100 years later, which is now like $2.50 for a pound or so. That's a huge inflation. Even back then when it used to be just by cents, but now it's in dollars now. A lot of people would say, well, that makes no sense, but I make dollars. Well, I don't know. That makes no sense to me either. And it sucks. We all suffer from this inflation, from the things that's going down in this economics, the economy of this world. But you know what? Who says it best is what I remember is Tupac Shakur. He said it best. He said, the government has billions of dollars to pay for war, but don't have the means to pay for the poor, which is true. I mean, look what's going on right now too, right? War is going on. And the war affects everything. That's why people should not be fighting. People should not have war. Since this Russia and Ukraine war started, everything increased. The gas increased. Food increased. Bus fare increased. And it shouldn't be that way. That's the thing that we were all baffled about. That's the thing that we are all confused of, why just because a country that's not even our own is at war, and yet everything elsewhere in the West or in the East, all prices gets jacked up. The economy falls, the inflation goes up. We're heading into a recession, man. I feel it. A recession. And there's really nothing we can do about it, right? There's really nothing we can do about it but sit here and complain and really just bitch at everything. So, and then for those who are without a job because of the pandemic, it's hard on them too. It's even harder on them. How are they going to feed themselves? How are they going to take care of themselves? How are they going to shower without paying the water bill? How are they going to have light without the electricity? All right, because of the inflation, and it sucks. It really does, and it's really nothing we can do. It's hard. This inflation stuff is hard because that question still runs in my mind, is who implements inflation? Who says, okay, this year we are going to have inflation? Because I'm watching the news, and all of the news anchors, everybody on TV, on YouTube, are all talking about inflation, recession, the economy, but nobody actually asks the question or talks about who decides the inflation, who decides who's going to be rich and who decides who's going to be poor. And it affects everyone. And that still bugs me. Even if I look it up here, like who Who implements it? And why? So when I type up who decides inflation, but still it doesn't really give me like who. See, I'm looking it up. All I'm seeing is, you know, inflation. How does the government measure inflation? Everything is just being measured. You know, so I don't know if inflation erodes the value of your money, then what? I Yeah, it doesn't really tell me who, but I know for sure that a lot of you will probably leave a comment or not and say that, it's the government, it's the company who decides for the inflation to happen, when really they don't need to make the inflation happen. Everything can just be stable. But no, they either want instability, they want chaos. This is what's happening right now. You know, for example, in different parts of the world, prefer in some places in the States, some places in Canada, or other parts of the world where the gas price is so high that people are actually stealing gasoline from other people's cars. Can you believe that? I was reading that on the news where people were jacking other people's gas. Oh man. Now I understand why some of the vehicles, I don't know about the newer vehicles, but I remember the older vehicles actually have a lock in their gas container from the outside, where you flip open the little door to access into your gas. I remember they have a key for that, but I'm not sure if newer vehicles have that. But I know newer vehicles have a latch, which is basically beside their seat to unlatch the door of the gasoline. But even that, people can still use a good amount of force to open that, a crowbar or anything that will open where your gas leads to, and they'll just suck it out. I don't know how anybody can just suck out a gasoline with a hose and you taste that stuff. I mean, it stinks when you have some gasoline on your hands. I don't know how it tastes like, but I'm sure it tastes like alcohol for some people. But yeah, you got young kids, or I wouldn't say young kids, I would say young teens robbing convenience stores, because they don't got money. Maybe they need money to help out their parents, their family, right? We don't know. I see on the news that people are stealing food when the cashier is not looking. This is what I'm talking about. This is pure chaos. Inflation will cause chaos. You know, and it's crazy. It just gets crazier and crazier from here on. We're basically back in 2008 all over again. Recession's going to happen. I have a feeling of it. And then what? Right? But anyways, before I bounce, head out, conclude my podcast here, that question still sits in my mind, is who decides for inflation to happen, for inflation to occur, and why? Why do we need it? What's the purpose of having an inflation, right? When technically you don't need to. I don't know. But anyways, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys like my podcast. Leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. And until then, I'll see you guys on my next podcast.